And welcome to the episode of Deal Talk. I'm Deal. Let's talk. My guest of the evening is the founder of Dip. Refreshing for the hair, for the body. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to Kate
Good. You got
Assaraf.
it. You got it. Thanks for having me.
Well, welcome to the show. I've been enjoying your products thus far, especially the body wash one. It smells delicious. I love it. My wife loves it. My kids love it. What inspired you to create such an amazing product like this? Like, what's your starting point?
Well, for me, I was in the beauty industry for about 2 decades. And maybe 10 years ago, when I was pregnant with my first son, I discovered the horrors of plastic. People are starting to find out about, the accumulation and the health hazards plastic has for all of us. Now it's becoming like mainstream, that knowledge. But 10 years ago, I discovered it and it like blew my mind that plastic wasn't getting recycled. But not only that, I read in this book about how plastic runoff from a factory was changing the biology of aquatic life. So male fish started laying eggs. And there I was, basically, I was like trying to do best by my son because I was pregnant and I was like drinking all the water out of plastic bottles. And I realized I just had plastic all around me. And no one had really gone beyond the accumulation thing at that point. Everyone was talking about, the Pacific garbage patch, but they weren't talking about really the endocrine disruption and all of the things that happen when plastic is, surrounding our food, surrounding, the landfill runoff, like all of these other problems that it creates. And so I tried to get into the plastic free scene and I found it to be very uninviting, but also, it was more expensive and ended up making a lot of the products actually made me angry because they were expensive, they didn't work, and because they didn't work, they did the exact opposite of what I was trying to do, which was create less waste. And so Dip is the product of frustration. I was like, I know I can do this and I can make it great, so great that the plastic free part of it doesn't even have to be part of the conversation.
So basically, like removing yourself and your children from that toxicity that these things have, right? Like
Yeah.
I one thing I love about your product is that like regular soap has this thing and we're like you feel like a layer of grease on you, right?
Yeah.
But then I'm showering with yours, I feel fresh. I don't feel that layer. It's kind of dry, but I like it. But yet
Yeah.
again, so soft.
Yeah.
And
Well,
and yeah,
yeah, no, there's people are very, showering is such a personal thing, right? Like,
right, yeah,
if we're lucky, we get to shower with someone else sometimes, but like for the most part, most of us are
yeah,
showering alone. And that experience of like kind of that feeling you want on your skin after like that, there's a spectrum of that. It varies person to person what they expect from soap. So I tried my best to choose a formula that was that in between, but in between that like squeaky clean and that over moisturized clean. So thank you for noticing that.
Well, thank you for creating that. What I like also about is it's a grip. It doesn't slip from your hands. I
Yeah.
like the square rectangle aspect of it. Uh, and it's durable. I've been using it for a week now, and it still looks like it's new.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah,
that's on purpose. I want people, a lot of kind of conventional wisdom about business is to get people to consume more. Like make the soap wear down fast, so you have to buy another one and another one and another one. And I
yeah,
was like, what if we made the soap a little bit harder and made it slow to consume? I think people are ready to stop shopping so often. It's become like
yes,
a weird addiction, and very much so, I think once you slip into parenthood, it's so much easier to just like click add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, and then before you know it, you're like buying things you don't need all the time. So Dip is kind of centered around this idea that what if we could train people to buy less? It's better for the planet, it's better for your wallet, and it's been kind of a fun experiment as far as starting a business to make products that last so long that people don't need to repurchase them that often.
I'm into that. What was like that? How did you come with the fragrance. Like this one is tobacco dry wood, right?
Yeah.
Sea salt, amber, vanilla. Like how many times did you have to experiment to like get the proper one you liked?
A lot. So we have a range of 7 scents and then we have completely unscented. But what I wanted was a line that people had the freedom to shop their scent because I watched people buy shampoo, conditioner, and soap in the store for a very long time. And I
Hmm.
just, at all different channels. I was like, I watched them in Walmart, I watched them in high-end stores, I watched them in Sephora, we're everywhere. I just watched the behavior. And what happened was universally, I would see people walk up to a shampoo bottle, pick it up off the shelf, open it, smell it, and then read it in that order. It was like very rare that I saw
Yeah.
someone read the bottle first and then open it and smell it. So I was like, well, what if we created the line so that people could shop this way? So, and it was inviting for it didn't just have like kind of traditionally girly scents. Like I wanted more sophisticated scents for people who are really trying to move from expensive, beautiful salon products and higher end products over to bars. So it was kind of a long process to make sure you covered all the different kinds of scents that people like. So there's like gourmand, there's musk, there's floral, there's all different types of people that are attracted to different scents and satisfying them and making it so that they walked into a display of dip and smelled each one. They could absolutely find one that they were like, whoa, this is what I want to smell like. It was a process, but it was based in my love for the customer.
Wow, that's amazing. How long has Dip been around?
So we launched in October of 2021,
Oh wow.
and so it's fairly nascent. It's fairly new as far as brands go. But it does have like this cult following of people that really understand what we're trying to do. We're trying to get people to shop less. We're trying to get them into stores again to purchase so that the entrepreneurs that are in, your town are also supported. Because I don't think people realize like every time you buy something from Amazon, your money just goes to Amazon. It's not really, it doesn't work for you anymore. But if you want your money to work for you, you shop in your town. And that way your money goes towards the schools. It goes through like all the programs that your library offers, like all
Yeah.
of, your firefighters, EMTs. So it's like if people started to realize that you can make your money work for the place that you chose to live, that's something I really want people to understand.
Yeah, it's been the community and the stage within the community, which is very important. Since 2021, now present, what has do you stumbled upon in this journey? Any challenges? Any competition? You know?
Oh yeah. So the competition's always like nipping at my heels in some way. But they can't seem to figure out how we've created such a cult following and success without advertising. Most of our hype has come from paying customers. So we haven't run yet to date any TikTok ads, Instagram ads, Facebook ads. We haven't hired any influencers to like pretend that they love the products. Everything has come from real people and real recommendations. Like we don't incentivize reviews or give free stuff for reviews. So that's been like really kind of really cool thing to be able to engineer the cult following of a company that competitors just can't buy it. You can't
Yeah,
buy and you can't buy authenticity. So I do watch our competitors really like try and knock off our marketing, but it isn't true to what their brand is. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and consumers are so smart. They're so much smarter than the person sitting in the marketing department of a bigger brand. Like consumers, I think at this point, we can like see through everything. It's not like the boomer era where like people are calling and pretending they're like princes overseas, like and people are falling for it. It's people go into shopping with a very, very skeptical sense, especially when it comes to hair care, to be honest, because like hair is
Yeah.
something you wear every day. And people are very, very skeptical of these huge promises that beauty brands offer them.
Wow. As somebody like yourself that was in the beauty industry, how did you And what form? How did you develop like from because like this one is shampoo, but it's a bar.
Yeah.
Like what gave you the idea of going from bar from your regular standard shampoo conditioner in a bottle to like coming up with a great idea for a bar?
Yeah, so I can't take credit for being the first bar brand out there. So there's probably 200 bar brands at this point. I think last
Oh
time I
wow.
checked, there was a few, like there are a few major players. Um, but so I when I was trying to do my own plastic-free journey, I was buying all sorts of bars, and I found that none of them really kept the promises that my really luxury hair care delivered. And so what I say with dip is like if you have a bar brand that you already love, like stay with that. I'm not trying to convert people that already found a bar brand that they love. But if you've tried a bar brand and you're so mad that couldn't find the one that you love, that's when I tell you try dip because it does take you away from a plastic bottled brand, especially like the luxury ones that are so expensive and fast to consume, like the conditioner bar that I used to buy 12 tubes of something called Orbe Gold Lust. It's a very expensive conditioner. My one conditioner bar will replace 12 of them per year for me, and that's a savings of over $500. So even if you don't care about the environment, it's like a good deal. Because not everyone is like environmentally motivated, and I understand that, but most people are, trying to save some bills, they're trying to
Yeah.
like save some
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
And so I recognize that, and I recognize the frustration with people that like are spending more for sustainable products only to feel like they got burned. It's like I'm trying to do the right thing, but like this doesn't feel right at all, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so yeah, I that was a big part of the point I wanted to make when I made the bars last a long time.
Wow, that's amazing. What why dip? What from all the names, like I like it reminds me of the song like you dip, you I dip,
Oh yeah,
you know
yeah.
so
Yeah, well, I grew up like that song came out when I was like in seventh grade or something. I remember that reminds me of basement dance parties, like
Yes,
back in
yes.
the day. So the idea with dip is that you just need water, so you can dip the bar in water and run it down your hair. I like the idea that it just implies, adding water. But I also love the idea that you can dip out of like the mainstream consumerist kind of lifestyle that's out there. You can dip out of the plastic scene. You can, dip into
Yes.
something more positive, and I think I just think it's a fun word. Like, and any entrepreneur knows that when you go to choose a name for your product, you have to fall in love with like 10 names in order to like
Yes.
in order to get through the trademark process. But by some stroke of luck, I had a few names on the table of what I wanted it to be, but Dip was like number one. And that trademark went through in my category. And I was so excited because I love the way like, and if people are watching a video like that, the logo kind of like dips into water. Um,
Yes.
it like makes me really happy when I see it. and,
That's
and
awesome. I just
I think
I just realized that. Yes.
yeah. And something, I don't know if anyone's listening that's kind of like a design branding nerd. What's funny is that the logo has a dot. The dot on the eye is only on the reflection in the bottom. It's not on the top. And
Yeah.
the reason for that, and any entrepreneur will like appreciate this, is once we put a round dot on the eye, it looks like a kid's product. But for some reason
Very
without
true.
it looks more sophisticated, I guess is the right word.
It looks dope. I didn't realize it until you pointed out, but it looks dope. The concept of dip, then the water, it's amazing.
Thank
It's
you. Yeah. We did it
it's
ourselves. It's just
awesome.
just my
That's
husband and
awesome.
I in the middle of the night, like putting things and ideas together. And it was really it that was born from all-nighters.
I can imagine. I've been there myself. Wow, that's amazing. Now, like, how was that first? Like, did you know when you first had the product? Like, how was that experience? Like, okay, this is it. How was that experience for you? Who's
So
the first person you was like, here, try this?
Oh, so my best friend since I was 11, she's mixed. She's biracial. So black dad, white mom, and she has like four different curl patterns in her hair. And
Wow.
she had always been kind of an other when it came to hair care. And so she was the very first person I had put it through the ringer because my goal was to make it so that, you have a mixed family, like that family isn't stuck having to buy 10 different hair products for the shower to satisfy all the hair types. I wanted it, to be so that a mixed family could have every hair type under the sun, four different curl patterns in their kids
Yeah.
and, hair on both sides, like 1A hair and 4C hair, like they can all use it. So I gave it to my best friend. I was like, put it through the ringer. Tell me what you think. And, she did. We went through 40 iterations before we landed on this version. And so a really cool thing is like the bars will work for me, but they're also on the shelves of like black owned salons and or curl specific salons. And like if you know anyone with curls, like they're oversold so many products, that they don't
Yeah.
need. And curly hair goes through conditioner so fast, but I've created like the everlasting gobstopper of conditioner bars. So like, a curly person saves tons and tons of money with the conditioner especially. But that was my first person. And
That's amazing. That's beautiful, especially somebody that you grew up with and trusted you to create such an amazing product. It
well, I knew she would
is
tell me the truth if it stunk. Like she's my
yeah,
best
yeah.
friend. She's gonna tell me. She's like, oh, like I love you, but not this, you know?
Right, right. Is there any other products that you sell just other than hair products?
I do. I have a face wash. I have this hair and body dry oil. So that's like
Nice.
you apply this oil to your body and it dries instantly and you can touch paper. So, a lot of people that use lotion every day, you have to deal with like that aftermath and keep your arms and legs like you have to
Yeah,
make sure
yeah,
go pretty much.
yeah,
This you can apply, it moisturizes, and then you can put your jeans on right away. Um, it also can refresh your hair, but like the magic is really on the skin, I think. Um,
got it.
and and yeah, I'm not looking to make a million products. I'm just trying to make a core line of really good ones.
Nice. Has your husband ever asked you to make a men lines product,
Oh, which product?
like for men?
Oh, so it's the men generally gravitate towards the tobacco and then they descend and then the wild sage and vetiver. Like I always wanted men included, because it's I don't know outside of Dr. Squatch, I don't really know too many sustainable brands that cater
Hmm.
to men or have thought of men in their marketing and their product development. Um,
No.
it's
Mm.
and
No.
I get it because women are the shoppers of the family generally,
Yeah.
but there's plenty of men that make their, live without a woman in the house that like have to do their
Yeah.
own shopping. Like why aren't they included? Like we have to care about their health and their exposure to plastic too. And that I think that is like something that, I always wanted. I always wanted to include that in
Yeah.
part of in the marketing anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you because the most you'll see out there is like beer things for beards, but body
Yeah.
wash, you have your generic over the counter already saturated market of that, but not something dedicated for men. So maybe who knows in the near future. How important is, you know, like your package, they're recyclable, right?
Yeah.
How important is that in the brand and your and what you do? How much
It's
like
it's
how
really
important is it
important.
to you?
It's so important because, you know, I have two children and the idea of creating more waste for their generation, for their children's children, like the idea of it haunts me. A lot of people go into business and the earth and like future people that don't exist yet don't really matter to them. But it matters to me. Like, I grew up picking up seashells on the beach and I don't remember plastic on the beach when I was a kid. And the experience my kids have now is we do a beach clean pretty much everywhere we go. There's plastic on every beach. It's not like the same, and only going to get worse the less we change. And it's not like a doomsday message I like to put out there, but I think as parents, it's part of our job is to seek out the options and just normalize them in the household, like so that our kids are expected to just kind of follow suit. So whether it's shampoo and conditioner bars, or whether it's like toothpaste tabs, or whether it's like not buying paper towels anymore and instead using like reusable rags, or getting rid of saran wrap and switching it out with like beeswax wraps. Like there's so many solutions out there. And I think parents just don't know about them yet. You know, they would if they knew, but it's starting to like slowly gain traction now.
Yeah. No, I agree. I grew up in Puerto Rico, and
Mm.
there's beaches everywhere. Like
Yeah,
I wouldn't
love Puerto
I
Rico.
can't swim for the life. I can't swim for the life of me, right? But I grew up near water. It was
Mhm.
something like me and my friends growing up were constantly going there.
Yeah.
And now the traffic, especially the tourism,
Mhm.
you'll find things like that,
Yeah.
like more than before. So I think it's also the lack of education. Like right now, I live in New Jersey, Jersey City. It's an urban place,
Yeah.
uh, so a lot of us that live here don't appreciate going to the beach, and
Mhm.
you know we live in an urban, like nobody cares over here. So
Totally.
it's the lack of education and taking care of our planet. So kudos to you, man. It's
Yeah.
very important, very
Yeah.
important.
And Jersey City's awesome. Like what a cool place to live.
Yeah, especially now it's changing. A lot of gentrification, but you can't do nothing about it if you don't take care of your surroundings. You
Yeah.
just give people like that the advantage of taking over. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Did what part of Puerto Rico were you from?
Oh man, I'm from this place called Lajas. I'm like,
Hmm.
uh, it's the deep south. It's wet south, deep. Like I grew up in this barrio named Salina Fortunas, where like it's the hole. Nobody knows where it is. Like you'll know what Parguera is because that's where people go to tourists
Yeah,
and boats and all that. But like the end of the world over there.
that's so cool. The one of the I'd say top three experiences I've ever had in nature was the bioluminescent bay in Puerto Rico. Have you
Mhm.
been there?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, with the we went on a new moon, so there's no moon. It was so dark, and then we were able to go in the water, and we came out, and you'd pull your hands up, and it would look like diamonds were dripping down your hands. It was
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
the most magical thing in the world. Like, and that algae needs us to take care of the ocean for it to survive. For our
Yes.
food. It's like we have to make sure we're like using, 'cause if I went in there with highly chemicalized sunscreen, I wouldn't do it because it was night. But like that's not healthy for the algae. So it's like all these considerations you just have to take to be gentler on the planet is so important because that is a magical experience that should be passed down. I'm sure it's for centuries has been
Yes.
passed down
Yes.
and it needs to go for centuries more because the only way you can like love the earth is to like experience it. And then it becomes a
Yeah.
no-brainer, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, this is why we got awesome products like yours that, it doesn't just, you're not just selling a product, but you're giving a message and how
Yeah.
important our surroundings are.
Yeah.
Uh, especially in this age where you see, big time media talking about toxins in our bodies and our food and
Yeah.
our day-to-day consumption. This is where we need more things like this out, and looking at the price, I don't think it's a bad price because it's durable. You
Yeah.
know, you go to Walmart, you get some Dove, $10, and 2 or 3 days will last you,
Totally.
and if
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And it's the price point is, reflected a reflection of what's in it. So it's expensive in like the upfront purchase is expensive. Say the conditioner is $32, but
Hmm.
that $32 bar will last most people a year. So like really if you're thinking per shower, ends up being a couple cents. Like it's really nothing.
Hmm.
And but if you had bought like the Dove, for example, you probably would have gone through six, maybe 10 bottles by the time you're
Hmm.
done with this. So it's like even just visualizing that much plastic because when it goes in a landfill, it's plastic plus air, like plus space. It's not just like the weight of the plastic. It's like that plus
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the air because it goes into a landfill full of air. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I agree. And also things like how many pumps can you get from a conditioner? Like you have the ones with the
Right.
pump. Like I
Mhm.
got one in. How many times you got to get there to get a good amount to put on your hair, especially if you have long hair?
Yeah, it's a
With
lot.
this, with this, it's just like it's like I don't know. I don't have long hair, but I can imagine like it's like combing your hair and it's slowly because it's wet. It's dripping onto your scalp. So
Yeah, totally. It's a little bit of a behavior change to switch to bars, but I try to make it as familiar as possible. So like the lather from the shampoo is familiar. It feels like luxury shampoo. The slip from the conditioner feels like luxury conditioner. So even though the application feels a little weird, putting a bar right on top of your head, like I want the experience after that to feel so similar that you're not like having to, you can only get people so far to make changes. You've got to keep some of it the same. So
yeah, yeah,
I really tried to keep it the same. And I know like you just can't, and I try and keep it fun and lighthearted in the marketing because I know you can't get people on board by just like barking at them and saying like,
yeah,
make
yeah.
this change or else like this is your future. Like I despise that kind of sustainable marketing because I think it's not helpful.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Like even when I followed you on social media, and just look, it's simple marketing. It's straight to the point.
Yeah.
I think after this episodes, people learn a lot about the logo and what it means. But I think sometimes you can't overcomplicate it. It is what it is, and I think
Yeah.
you're doing a great job with your brand doing
Thanks.
that.
I don't think people need all of this extra. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's something that's weird happening in marketing. Well, I think it's always happened in marketing where you're told to like treat the consumer as if they're in like fourth or fifth grade, no matter what age
Hmm.
they are. And marketers are taught to like that's that's how you talk to people. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I don't know anyone like that because I'm also in New Jersey and everyone I
Yeah.
know is
Oh
like
wow, really?
so,
That's nice.
yeah, everyone I know is funny and smart. So, like, why would I talk to people, my peers, as like dum-dums? I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And my brand doesn't do that. And people like marketers have told me, they're like, oh, your website is too wordy. There's too much information on it. And I was like, okay, well, my customers read.
Yeah.
Like,
I actually love your website because it's so colorful.
thank you.
Like it's filled with like it's for me it's not overwhelming. Like it's not serious. Like you have this image of light and happiness and joyful, like
Yeah.
and that's positive energy, right? I
Yeah.
think when it comes to marketing, it's you have these people that uh, come out of straight of college
Mhm.
and have no experience, get these marketing jobs, and they unbuckled or like unlock the key of like using psychology with their advertisement, but
Yeah.
they're not, like you're not in the field speaking with people. You're not creating relationships. You're not on one-on-one talking to them. It's different feedback than when you're just thinking you came out of college and you know
Yeah.
this information. This is how we're going to tackle this. Sometimes
Right.
you gotta get down and talk to the people.
I agree. And so, to that end, what I do with the brand is I encourage people to like shop in store. And so we're in three different kinds of stores generally. We are in zero waste stores, which are like called refilleries. We are in salons, like actual hair salons, Carry Dip, which is like so exciting. So my bragging rights are there. Um,
Yeah.
and, uh, and then in surf shops, because the dip bar, actually the conditioner bar, if you dip it in water and run it down your hair, it will instantly detangle. So like anyone who
Oh,
has long
nice.
hair or a daughter with long hair, it's like ouchless tangles. And like you can just detangle your hair after the pool, after the lake, after the beach, and then air dry and go, and your hair will look beautiful. But for the refill stores, especially, like if you're trying to reduce plastic, these stores exist in every state and they're all over the place and they pretty much do the homework for you. So they vet all the products that are plastic free and they choose the best of the best, which like I'm so happy that Dip is in many of these stores. And that's how people discover new plastic-free options for them. And so I use my website to get people like, hey, check out the store locator. Like, see if there's a spot near you that carries dip. Because you don't have to believe my website that it's good. And you don't have to believe like the shampoo lady on the podcast, like that it's
Yeah,
good. Like
yeah,
you can go into a store and talk to someone where I'm not around to hear and listen to what they have to say. And that I think is like kind of a magical thing in a very digitally polluted world we're living in with like fake
yeah,
reviews, fake hype, like all of this stuff. Like you can actually go into a store and be like, I have some questions about dip, and more often than not, the store owner will know the answers to all of them, or if not, they can text me many times. Like I know probably our 500 store owners are able to contact me and find me somehow and ask the questions if they can't answer it.
it's amazing. Yes, yes. Are you in your growth? Because as you grow, you're gonna get offers. You're gonna get, you know, want to put your product in certain stores. Are you open to like a Walmart, Target, or you do you want to still have that, person field and the backbone of America, like I like to say, convenience stores of
Yeah.
that nature.
I prefer independent retailers because
Independent. There you go.
yeah, I prefer the independent retailers. Part of my career before this was, selling things into Target and Walmart and those places. So I know how to do that. It's not where my heart is. My heart is like these people that, someone who opens a hair salon, it's not an easy thing to do. I think it's a renegade thing to start a business in any way. But someone who opens a brick and mortar store or like a surf shop, like that is the type of person I want to support. Like it's very different than supporting like a Target corporate, where you really have very little control over your products. And I don't
Mm,
want, it's not soulless. People like good people still work for Target, but like the feeling of walking into a store or a salon where someone carries dip and I walk in and I see how they like beautifully chose to merchandise it or like,
yes, display it. Yeah.
it's just and it's unique to each store. Sometimes you walk into a store and they have like a painted mural on the inside or on the outside of the building and like I love the local flair that comes with independent retailers, like no matter who they are. And I think we're losing that a lot because of Amazon. We're losing small stores left and right. And I'm on this like very, the like Don Quixote, like the quixotic mission
Yeah.
to bring them back. But I don't really. I'm not the type of person. I don't know if I'll ever really be like one of those super wealthy people that wants huge purchase orders. I actually love like the smaller purchase orders dotted all around.
I mean, yeah, it's something about keeping it intimate, with
Yeah.
your potential clients, that makes it the experience great.
Mhm.
It's not too big, not too small, but just right where you can live a good life. And,
Yeah.
compared to like, Amazon, which I tell people not to because they take 50% of your profits.
I know.
And, you
Crazy.
know, and the only thing they're doing is giving you a platform which you can honestly do yourself. And if
Mhm.
it's hard labor, but it shipping it yourself, labeling it yourself, taking out the time, creating your own brand, your
Yeah.
own logo, the experience will pay off in the long run.
Totally. And so like I started with, just me the first 18 months and I hustled so hard to get it in stores like all over. Calling them on the phone instead of sending emails. Like I really, really hustled in that way. And then I, eventually brought on my husband. He's now full time. And then I purchased my own factory. I built like rent a building, commercial lease, got my own factory, have a team there. And the last year we had to double the size of the factory. And this year
Gosh.
alone, I just hired three more people. So like what I'm watching is everyone else is like using AI and like reducing their head counts and saving money and like scrap it. Like, they're kind of like reeling in everything. I'm like, no, I like the human element of my brand and I like hiring people that are awesome. Like I don't do it all myself, so I don't want someone to think that like I do it all
Yeah,
myself. Like
yeah.
I just, I was finally able to like really expand the team this year. And so there's nine of us and it is the best. Like it
Yeah.
like literally makes me feel so happy because we're nine people. on this like crusade to get people to switch over, and they're a good time. They're like like really fun about it, and not I don't feel like you know how sometimes you hear entrepreneurs talk about like the weight of their employees and all, like I don't have
Yeah.
that. I really, really am so lucky to have this team that lets me do things like this because I couldn't do this and run everything at the same time, you know?
Yeah, and the more you grow, the more help you're going to need, and
Yeah,
that's going to be amazing because you're going to be creating employment for people that need employment. You know,
right.
that you're not just giving back to your community, you're giving back to society, and such struggling times, which makes it even greater.
Thank you. I didn't really think of it that way, but that makes me really, really,
Yeah,
yeah, that's a good reevaluation. I didn't think of it that way because
yeah.
I'm just so happy with the team that it's like it almost feels like cheating because we have such a good like flow, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but I did, two of the people that we hired were people that owned brick and mortar stores that sold dip, and just they were like they would rocked it. Their stores were both really great, but they both geographically had to move away from where their stores were for, different circumstances. And so I was like, I'll take you. You guys know this
Oh
inside
my God.
and out. Like
Yeah.
come work for me.
Investing in the right people.
Yeah.
They know how much the work the value of the work. They know how much effort you got to put in. So
Yeah.
investing in people, the right people will help your business blow up.
Yeah. And they have like I've never felt so lucky as I do like right now, and with the team that I have. So it's it really does feel like a blessing. I don't know how else to say it, but I'm one of, not that there aren't hard times in entrepreneurship, but like
Oh, trust me.
you're
Oh,
catching
trust me.
me, yeah, having like enjoying the ride right now,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
I mean, and you need that so much because like somebody like me who dabbles in real estate with my wife, t-shirt printing business, I've gone up and down in the trajectory since COVID,
Yeah.
uh, because then you have people doing the same thing as you're doing, and then people stop that,
Yeah.
and just you create this dynamic of chaos, and you forgot what you did it for. Like there's
Totally.
nothing better than working for yourself, and with a great message towards the environment.
Yeah. Yeah. The environment is truly, the thing that drives me. But now like new things drive me, like all these other elements,
Yes.
and it's weird because you don't, when you start it, you just don't know where your journey's going to take you and how you're like, I never thought I was going to have a factory. Like I never thought I was going
Yeah.
to be able to like employ um first of all my husband. Like that is like crazy because now the two of us can make our own schedule around our family as well, which is like I don't like, that's a luxury. That's a
Yeah.
luxury, like, and it doesn't feel, it's obviously it's really difficult because having two kids and
Hmm.
now it's summer.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to, like,
Yes,
they're
I know.
home. You still got
Yeah.
to work. But it is like, it is just, I don't know. It's a wild ride, and I'm really thankful to be here.
I mean, but just think about the work ethic your kids are going to be growing around, and how you slowly installing them to be their own bosses and
Yeah.
find something that's valuable enough that they can have passion and grow like their mom did,
Yeah.
because you're not just like you're changing lives, right? Giving people employment, you're helping the community, you're helping the environment, you're giving people beautiful hair back, you're washing away all the toxicity, like, like at some point they're gonna look at you and they're gonna just see you glowing.
Yeah.
They're gonna look at you like how this one woman changed the world.
Yeah. And I hope that one day they do find the thing that they love. Because, like, anyone listening, whatever you go into, whatever field you decide to become an entrepreneur in, you're going to have to love it so much that you talk about it all the time.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
all the
yes.
time. Um, and so, I hope they find that thing that they love. Like, I've always looked at hair and loved it. It's not what I ended up studying. Like, that's that, but it's what got me, to start the business and really solve a problem. And I'm sure you have that too. Like, what was it that you were like, I have this itch, this unscratchable itch?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was like it's a couple of things, but like I wanted to I wanted to document a conversation, not CNN, not
Yeah,
something to pressure people to give the right answer and then look at, oh, I should answer that better. It's a conversation on what inspired them to do what they do, right?
yeah,
Because a lot, a lot of there's a time frame and where people just are showing you their end and where they got the money, they got the house, they got the cars, but they're not, it's more sometimes it's more about the journey,
totally. Yeah,
and the things you went through and the things you overcome and the people you inspire to tell your story. That's more important. Your
yeah,
end is your end. You got everything you worked for, but it's like that chunk of amount of time, it's most often forgotten.
yeah,
I know a lot of people that are wealthy now, and they forgot that hustling time. They forgot how that felt. They forgot that they were there for so long. You know,
hmm
and that's very important. That molds character, relationships. Uh, so much things come out of that time.
yeah. If I'm not hustling, I'm dead. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to, I don't know how to feel comfortable in idleness, you know?
yeah,
It's weird when you think you found your calling, but I do feel like a sense of purpose because I do spring out of bed to run my company every day, and I think that's like I
it's
wish
motivation.
I wish that feeling on everyone, because I think having a company can be very daunting, and I've had companies before this one where it was daunting and it was like eating me alive. But this one is like it brings the joy, you know
Yeah,
and it doesn't come without its like horrible all-nighters or the reason I have my own factory is because my manufacturer went bankrupt and took like
oh
a lot
wow,
of money. Like they had me put in a huge purchase order and then disappeared, like everyone disappeared. And so, um, you know, I that was like right before holiday season and I didn't have any products to give anyone. And I was like, when you're so sick from worry, you're like puking blood, like those are the moments that like shape how you react to things later because you don't know how bad you're gonna react. Like your body takes over at some point from stress and like hardship. Like at some point your body
yeah,
was just like, get this feeling out, you know?
yeah,
And that, there's been many instances where that's happened, but like the best thing that I've learned is that nothing's that big a deal. You have to like re-say that nothing is that big a deal. Like I'm not a surgeon. I like sell shampoo. Like I
yeah,
have to
yeah.
keep I have to keep putting that into perspective. So I don't know. That has helped me a lot.
I mean, but once you've gone through so much trials, like nothing, you feel like you've gone through it all. Like
Yeah.
nothing can really fade you. Like doing media, and where like everyone is doing the same thing as you, right? They have this thing, and we're like, you should do this, you should do that, but like everyone is doing the same thing.
Yeah,
The water's
totally.
saturated, yeah. So like me, I think about like I want to keep it free, but I need to find it, make money out of this.
Yeah.
But how can I make money? How can I start charging for people to watch this when like each episode is an opportunity? There's a young lady that's going to watch an interview and they're going to see you smile and giggle and talk about everything you went through. And yeah, it's not these financial advice, but it's experience
Yeah.
that people need to say, find courage to do
hmm
it. So like
Yeah.
for me, most of my days I'm like, just fuck it. It is what it is, and keep going and keep going
Yeah.
and keep going. More can't pay the mortgage, can't pay the car bills. I got to figure it out. And
Yeah.
slowly but surely, once you find your pattern, once you find your elements, everything else is like it never happened.
Yeah. And I'm a big fan of realizing that you cannot do everything yourself. Like some
Yes.
people fall into that trap of having to do everything themselves, and that is the most expensive way to live, you know, because you suddenly your time is gone,
Yeah.
and it's the more help you can bring on. And I know like entrepreneurs sometimes get in their own bubble and they don't want to hire or share, but like if you can figure out where to find the people that are amazing, that are also
Yeah.
what I call multipliers, like they
Hmm.
multiply the joy and they multiply the money, those are the people that you bring on
Yeah.
board. And yeah, I mean, like it's really cool to talk about this stuff because, a lot of times when people ask me questions, they only really do ask about either the highlight reel or just like the low, low, low. And this has been like a nice way to talk about kind of the stable, the stable waters of entrepreneurship.
Yeah. I mean, entrepreneurship, in the long run, it's people trying to figure out where they fit in and to
Yeah.
see what's working. And if it works, they'll stay there, you know?
Yeah.
Others are just, very much like yourself. They saw something they liked and they started testing it. And
Mhm.
little did you know, they created a product. It's like, this is good. Let's see if this one tries. Oh, it's good. And slowly, it goes through phases and phases. And, it doesn't happen overnight.
No.
It takes a lot of time and patience and sacrifice, but here we are with Dip. What more can you say?
Yeah. Thank you.
Before we go, I want to ask you one last question. If you had the opportunity, right, and you will have the opportunity to step on many stages and inspire many women, right?
Mhm.
But it's one girl watching this, just one, and she wants, to find the courage to do something like you did. What words of encouragement can you give them?
I would tell them that you know what you're capable of. You have this gut feeling, right? There's like this kind of this glowing light inside of you. You know what you want to do, and you might not know how to do it, but that's not what you need to know. What you need to know is like what really drives you. And I would say that light that's like in you that kind of like feels like it needs to come out and manifest into whatever it is you choose, do not share it with a business partner because you do not have the confidence to do it on your own. A lot of women fall into a trap, and I was one of them that decided to do something with a partner instead of on my own. And so I would say passion is not shared. Passion is not something that is transferable. Like, have the confidence to do it on your own and hire the help you need. You don't need to gift half of your passion to someone else, and then make someone else a decision maker in what you're feeling for yourself. Like that's the biggest pearl of wisdom that I think is a very expensive lesson to learn. So if I could teach it to you for free,
Yes.
if I could teach it to you for free, like take it and run with it. You can always hire someone else later.
Boom, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Dip. Go get it right now. Before we go, tell the people they can find you.
Sure. You can find me. I'm Kate Assaraf on LinkedIn. So you can send me a message. I'll let me know where you found me because there's a lot of bots out there that pretend they know me. So find me, Kate Assaraf. And then if you're looking for Dip, dipalready.com. It's DIPALREADY.com. And then it's Dip Already is our social handles on Instagram and on TikTok.
Boom, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you go purchase your dip today. I already have mine. I think I'm already a loyal consumer, right? I recommend it. Personal use, I recommend it. So go get your bar of soap today. Make sure to go follow us on YouTube, DIOTALK TV. We have reached 11,000 subscribers. Continue to support us so we can continue to provide you these amazing individuals like her doing amazing things, guys. Go support her. I'm out, guys. Have a good
Thank
night.
you.